Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, how is everything today? I hope that everything is going well for you. Well, on today's lesson, we will learn about how to use the language classroom related to how to use the board. Okay, whiteboard, blackboard, or the other board is one of the media that you are going to use when you want to teach your students. Of course, in your daily activity, you will need this type of medias. There are some expression or language classroom that you need to know when you want to use kind of instruction or another learning process activity in your classroom. So here it is. First is you ask your students to look at the board. Yeah. The first expression can be on the board. You will find today's exercise or questions or tasks. You may also say answer or read the questions on the board or the screen. Now, students, let's all read the sentences from the board. Now follow the instruction or guidelines on the board. You may also use kinds of instruction like do or finish or complete the exercise written on the board. Let's go over the answer on the board. You may also choose together or the next is copy down the instruction from the board. Now, second one, this is the situation or the instruction when you ask one of or some students in your classroom to come and write the answer on the whiteboard. Yeah, these kinds of activity usually used when you give the exercise, yeah, or written exercise to your students. Of course, you need to ask your student to come and write the answer on the whiteboard. There are some expressions you can use to do this. The first one is come to the board, please. Or you may say come out, yeah, to the board, please. Please come and add the levels to the diagram. Please add some more ideas to mind map on the board. Come and underline, ring, or tick the correct answer option. Use a red marker to highlight the words. Look at the map and point to or point out London. For example, when you are teaching about geography, yeah. And then use my pointer and show us where the Rockies are. Yeah, you may give your pointer to your students and ask them to show the point, yeah, or some locations. And then you may also use come and put your transparency on the OHP for everyone to see. Actually, OHP is no more, yeah, because this is kinds of old technology that enable us to show kinds of transparency or kinds of our writing on the transparency shown to the students. And then the third one, yeah, you may uh, use this expression when you want to ask your to students to step aside so that everyone can see. Yeah. There are some situations where students write on the whiteboard or the blackboard, but unfortunately, they don't aware that their body can block the students' visions or their classmates' visions. Of course, it will, bother the students' attention to the what is it, the writing on the whiteboard. Of course, it will not make the situation comfortable for the other classmates. Yeah, well, everyone, this expression you can use is move out of the way so that the class can see what you've written, and then move to one side so we can all see the board. And you are standing in the way. You're blocking everybody's view of the board. So, everyone, this is the board. Yeah, this is these are some expression that you can use when you want to check your students' understanding when giving them the quiz or what is it, another exercise or drilling activities. So sometimes you need to write down the wrong and the correct sentences on the board to stimulate uh, their what is it, creativity, whether the questions, whether the sentences are correct or wrong. If it is wrong, in which part? So there are some expression you can use. The first one is, are there any mistakes in the sentences on the board? Can anyone see anything wrong with the sentence? Is there anything wrong with the sentence too? Can you see anything to correct in the last sentence? And then correct the spelling mistake on the board, please. So these are very useful when you give the exercise to your students. And then number five, when you want to remind your students to copy down the homework. Usually it is used in the end of the lesson. You may use the expression like, note down the homework instruction, please. Copy this write down in your notebook. Make a note of what you have to do for homework. Has everyone seen the homework note? Have you all not written down the homework exercise? And use this expression. Meanwhile, for the sixth, this is some expression when you need to show us the location or show your student the location of the important point. Yeah. For example, look at or look in the bottom right hand corner. The reminder is in the top right corner. Actually, you can use your pointer to do this, but this is only the alternative way to mention the location of the important point. Look at the left or left hand side of the board. Maybe you forget to bring your pointer, so you need to, what is it, say it with some phrases, yeah, or sentence. In the center or in the middle of the board, you'll see the homework. On the right or on the right hand side of the board, you'll find the homework. So everyone is out of the expression related to the use of whiteboard or blackboard. But you need to remember that the traditional blackboard or whiteboard can also be referred to as simply as a board. So a board is meaning more general. Yeah. Um, so if on your room there is a screen, yeah, you may say board. Or if in your room there is a blackboard, you may say board, whiteboard. This also applies to interactive whiteboard. So if you are using a beamer, overhead projector, or TV, you can use screen instead of board. Meanwhile, yeah, if you use a screen projector, TV, it will be suitable if you use the word screen. Yeah. If you look at the screen, you'll see the topic or instruction for today. Turn this way and look at the TV screen. Yeah, sometimes in some classroom, like in the kindergarten or elementary or high school, sometimes the creative teacher will stick kinds of poster that makes your students, what is it, remember some vocabularies or another expressions. But you need to remember, yeah, if you want to use, you can use, what is it, this classroom language, like come and put your picture on the wall, or have a look at the diagram, chart, illustration on the wall, or notice the board. You may also use the other usable phrases include take a piece of colored chalk if you use a blackboard. Use a whiteboard marker. Don't use a permanent pen. Try to write clearly. Keep your writing straight. Make sure your writing is big enough so that everyone can read it. The following phrases might also be usable, but be careful of the common error. Uh, for example, the correct one is you've already been out to the board, or you have been the board. This is the incorrect one. The correct one, you've already had a turn. You, yeah, you. Whose turn is it to write the sentence up? Then don't forget to notice the preposition for kata depan. For example, using write on or write in. Write on usually write on the board, write on a transparency, write on a slide, write on overhead, write on a page or sheet of paper, write on a computer. Now, meanwhile, to use writing, write in a book, not write on a book or notebook, but using writing. Write in pencil, ink, or ballpoint. You are standing the way, not you are standing on the way. You may also use this following instruction when helping your students to correct the mistake on the board. You may say rub out or wipe out or cross off. Yeah? Rub out, wipe off, or cross. Yeah? Rub out the word letter. Wipe off this word. Cross the full stop. You may also want to use these phrases when a student spots an error that you have made on the board. Oh dear, I've spelled it wrong. Oh, thanks for spotting that mistakes. Oh, I was just checking that you were all awake. So what should it be then? For example, you have a what is it? Error or mistake in spelling or in writing on your whiteboard. So you can use this one. This simple expression um, involving the adverbial of place. Yeah. For example, take a piece of some chalk over here, over there. just there. Use this marker pen and write it next to this word, and write it below this word, and write it above this word. Yeah. So it's up to you. Yeah. You may use this what is it? Place expression. And then how you manage the board. For example, you want to ask your students to clean the board, you may say, is there or can I have a volunteer to clean the board? I like someone to wipe the board for me, please. Who is the board monitor this week? I'll just give the board a wipe. The board eraser is here. You'll find the board rubber or duster at the side of the board. The cloth or rug is on my desk. The sponge is by the sink. You'll need to wet or dampen or moisten the sponge with the tap. I need to add some information. For example, we need to change or update the correct date. I need some space or room for a diagram or some new instruction. This one is when you want to change the homework page to symbol page 126. Instead of rather than page 6 and 7, write 10 and 11. Alter the instruction to say question 9 and 10 are optional. It's to say April 2nd and not April the 3rd. Then the next expression is when you don't want to write the date. Don't remove, don't get rid of, don't wave off the homework yet. Leave the instruction for the next lesson. You can leave this sentence up. You don't need to clean the left hand side. And then this expression are used when you want to or you need a whiteboard marker. Use the whiteboard pen, please. Make sure it's the right type of pen. Don't use the permanent or magic marker by mistakes. While if you are using flip chart or other paper display, the following may be useful, like would someone rip or tear off the page from the flip chart? Please find or turn to a clean page on the flip chart. Flip over to the next page. Is there a mistake on the board? Haven't you made a mistake on the board? Notice how out of and away are used, like drive or wipe this letter off, turn or switch the lights off, take your book out, put your books away. But for rub this letter away is correct. And then these are the other usable equipment includes the magnets are in the corner. The driving pins or thumbstick are in the top or tin containers or tray. I need some sticky tape, cello tape, or blue tape. And then there are some problems that maybe even with more additional technology. Oh, I've run out of chalk. That's my last piece of chalk. My marker pen has dried up. Go and look for some chalkboard rubber for me. Go and see if there's one more. Go and fetch some more from the office. Please find another pen from the next door. Go and ask Mr. Gymnast for some more chalk. In this, use when you use whiteboard or board. So everyone, I think that is all some language classroom that you use related to how to use the whiteboard, blackboard, or screen, or any other word. You still have any questions related to this, what is it, topic? Yeah, you may ask some questions. Yeah, some. Well, I think that's all for today. Jadi Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And see you next time.